My date posted my picture to an online cheaters page to check my loyalty.
Oh, yeah. We're doing a deep dive.
I met Danielle on a dating app, and we immediately hit it off. Conversation was super easy for us, so we swapped numbers and spent the next 2 weeks texting and talking on the phone. I explained early on that I want to take my time because not only am I looking for something serious, but also have work commitments for the next few months. I work in tech product sales, which can be very busy, and also involve me leaving the city for a few days at the time. By the way, this comes from a throwaway account, so if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So she said she understood and was also looking for something long-term. Great, PT. We met the weekend before Valentine's and had a nice restaurant date followed by dessert and coffee. We finished with a kiss, and I walked her back to the car.
I hate those smooch.
It was definitely the best date I've been on since my last relationship. The next day, I called her to say I was looking forward to seeing her again and would plan something when I got back. I live in a major North American city, and from the 15th to the 17th, I was booked 3 hours away on on-site client meetings. I told her about this and let her know we'd keep in touch. On Friday, I'm due to get back. I get a message from a close female friend asking who I pissed off. I have no clue what she's talking about. She sends me a screenshot of my photo on what looks like a Facebook page and tells me it's a private group where women call out men for cheating. Is this a real thing? Is this real?
I mean, there's gotta be, right? I mean, there was the whole, there was that like website for cheating, which is insane. And it got leaked, like a database of all the people who signed up for the cheater website.
Let me know if anyone has perused this or submitted pictures to this.
And let me know if I'm on there.
Actually, yes. I would love to. I would love to know if any of us are
crazy,
on there.
Yeah, that
That'd
you could just get thrown on there with like no real evidence or anything.
It's called Are We Dating the Same Guy? And this particular group is just for people from my city.
Oh, wow.
In the screenshot, multiple people are posting under my picture with mostly harmless comments like, oh, I went on a date with him years ago. He was okay. But there were others like, PM me for the tea. And a woman said, he's an angry a-hole. Stay away for your safety because it's Facebook. I recognized her name as someone I went on a date with last summer who I had to block after she repeatedly tried to sell me her cat. Absolute lunatic.
Right. This a-hole wouldn't buy my cat.
A few things about me. I am single. I have never been married, and my last relationship was over a year ago. I am very selective, and Danielle was the first date I'd been on since the end of summer. I am also a very private person. I don't use social media, and I don't kiss and tell. The fact that my photo is on this site is mortifying. What makes it worse is when I got home, I started getting a text from a bunch of other people I know, either laughing at me or calling me a womanizer. Is every woman on this Facebook page?
What town do you live in where everyone is in this Facebook group?
Ming Ming says in the chat, yep, Facebook groups in each city/area.
Yeah, well.
Oh my God. Let's go to LA one or the Santa Monica one.
No.
And look
I'm
up our
scared.
names. Let's look. Come on. Kia, pull it
I
out.
know I'm not on there.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Wow.
Wait, it's on Facebook?
We got to have the
Facebook.
OK story time. Am I dating the same guy?
Or actually, maybe
he has this volcano he throws people into.
as of now, I'm aware that several female friends have seen it. One coworker, my sister, and a woman I know who lives in the same building as me that excitedly grabbed me when I was leaving this morning to tell me, I saw you on that Facebook group. Apparently, it's a lot more popular than I realized. There's only one person who have had the motivation to do this. So I called Danielle on the weekend and asked her. So really quick, pausing right here. Deal breaker or not for our early relationship?
I mean, like, it's definitely an eyebrow raiser.
It's weird. I feel like it like, especially this early on without any evidence, it feels like insecurity.
It really just depends on the energy that I think I'm being presented. I would have to suss out the vibe. I could very see this as easily a moment where I go, I'm now done with this.
Yeah.
Like where I'm just like, and now I'm getting out of this.
I think if this happened to me in this way, I probably would not be interested in that person anymore.
Because it's like, where does it end? It's like, it's about this, but like, then it's going to be about like,
it starts like this.
We buy a house
so
and now all of
early.
a sudden I'm sleeping with the neighbor. It's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
We went through this.
So, Sam.
What?
I looked it up.
Yeah.
It's West Side or West LA, Santa Monica, and Venice. Guess how many people are in this community?
How many?
100,000.
Oh, whoa, no.
500,000.
10,000.
It's like 9 to 10,000.
Sheesh! Just for a local area. Oh my god!
And you have to join the group. So, like
I
it's
don't think
restricted
men
to,
are
like,
going to be
see it.
allowed to join. I'm looking at people saying, Princess McNubbin's help keep those pages safe for women who need to warn others. Aries 88 says she could ruin his character. Serenity Horse Ranch says it's about safety due to online dating. Wow, this is a whole little world.
It's worldwide, yeah.
If anyone is naturally part of this, you don't have to screenshot. But if you're part of this, I would love to know if any of us are on there. You don't have to screenshot anything. Or you don't have to let us in. But I would want to know.
Let me in.
So initially she denied it, but after some prodding, that flipped to apparently her friend posting it. Why? Because a few of them had gotten tipsy together on Valentine's. As they're all single, my name came up after her friends asked why she wasn't with me that night after the great date she told them about. Apparently, me not being around as I was leaving early the next morning for work was suspicious, as was the fact we'd been talking for multiple weeks, but she'd never seen my place. She gave them a pic I used on the dating app, and one of them posted it. She told me she was sorry, but that I seemed too good to be true. Her last relationship ended due to cheating, and she wanted to make sure I wasn't married or in a relationship. I told her I needed some time to think and would be in touch. I feel like that excuse feels. I feel like I would feel better about that.
Again, it really all comes down to the vibe of the moment.
Yeah.
Because it's like you got cheated on. Yeah, of course you're going to be like, is this guy playing me? But like being like, I haven't seen your house. It's been 2 weeks. It's like, that's normal. That feels normal to me.
Yeah. I think this is like a toxic friend group a little bit.
I cringe
but
all the time.
Maybe OP's love interest is not toxic. It is a red flag for sure. That was Saturday. We've been silent until today, when I woke up to dozens of messages from her saying things along the lines of, I'm so sorry. I'm so angry with myself for this. And then the real truth. It was her that posted it. Now I actually probably wouldn't be interested.
Right. So yeah, this is now it comes to like, all right, this is just like too much. Just be real with me.
Yeah.
If you were just real with me the whole time, it'd be fine.
She wanted to come completely clean and apologize for lying, telling me she panicked when I confronted her, but she wants it all out now. She sent me screenshots, unprovoked, of the PM conversation she was having with women in the group about me. Aside from the one head case I mentioned earlier, there was nothing accusatory, but what I couldn't get over was how they were discussing me in such an open manner. It had nothing to do with whether I was single or cheating. It was stuff like, he took me to this restaurant, he drives this kind of car, this is what he's like in bed, this is what his place is like, this is how much money I think he makes. I would never talk about exes or people I've dated like that. And if a guy tried to talk to me about Danielle like that, I'd think he was an effing weirdo and tell him to stop. My two closest female friends are divided. So here I am for advice. One thinks that women need to protect themselves against predators and violence, and groups like this are necessary, which was what someone in the chat was saying. The other is angry on my behalf because the presumption of men being posted to that group are that they're cheaters or sketchy. Otherwise, why would anyone even post them there? I really don't know what to do next. I've never had to deal with anything remotely like this before. I like Danielle, but it was one date. She also lied to me about it at first. This seems like a headache, and we've never even had spicy sleep yet. Is she going to get even more paranoid after that? It doesn't feel like we're compatible. This feels like the past 3 weeks of us talking have been one massive waste of time. That actually stings because she's the first person I've really liked since my ex. There is an update and a lot more.
Yeah.
We are barely halfway through.
I think I'd still be in it after like, hey, I'm getting you checked to see if you're a cheater, or like whatever. I'd still be like, I mean, okay, I'm not. So like, I'm fine. But then it's like afterwards, it's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so angry with myself. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'd be like,
whoa,
dude, we went on one date.
I honestly think that reaction is the more a red flag reaction.
Right, exactly. That's what gets me out of there for sure.
Yeah. I think it's too soon to be this invested, and also not too soon to be this invested. I think it's too soon for there to be this many problems.
Did he do a second date or wanted
and
to do a
Amy
second
Lynn
date?
said, did he confirm that he wanted a second date? I don't know. I think they were just talking. I also think like it seems like this girl Danielle has been hurt in the past, probably. I mean, she has had someone cheat. I don't know if it doesn't seem like she's secure enough for the next relationship. I think she's
think so.
I think she needs to get over some things, and I think this energy, this insecurity, I think is pouring out into this relationship. I do recognize like there is a need for these kinds of groups for women's safety. But I think if I was posted on one of those, I feel like I would feel some kind of trust being violated, especially if I didn't do anything. I think so. I think I would definitely feel weird about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows, right? I don't know anything about these groups, but I know people like to chat. Yeah.
I don't like it.
I think the reason it doesn't bother me too much is that to me, it's like just close the laptop and it's literally not even there for me. But I do think it's like, I think it'd be different if it was like one of the posts of like, hey, and then, because they only went on one date. But if someone did post me and was like, this is how much money he makes, this is where he lives, like this is what I'd be like, okay, now you actually, why are you doing this? That's crazy to do that to me.
Yeah.
But, since they only went on one date, she doesn't really have any of that information anyway.
Yeah.
But I would feel weird about that. But the solution is still the same. You just go and you close the computer and it goes away.
But I think for me, it wouldn't be that I would feel weird about that picture being out there. I would feel weird about the person that I'm entering a relationship with doing something like that. I feel like it represents like qualities that I just wouldn't be interested in. Again, like the insecurity, the overcautiousness. But maybe that's just like my preference.
No, I get you, because it'd be a game time decision for me.
Yeah.
It would really depend on how funny the situation is. If there's no funniness to the situation, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's got to be a little funny.
Courtney Electra says, first date unhinged, lol. But let's get into the updates. Back with an update. But firstly, a couple of quick notes based on the feedback I got. No, I'm not Patrick or David or Eric or Pascal or Brett. Thank you for the PMs asking. As much as I'd like to be a Brett, since that was my favorite wrestler as a kid.
There's still time, OP. You can change your name to Brett.
It's concerning that these messages imply this seems to be happening so much that identities can be confused. I don't care if you think my close female friend violated the sanctity of your super cool secret girls only club. As she told me, her loyalties are to me. She's known me since I was a child and knows that I didn't deserve to have my photo plastered there. I understand that those groups may be necessary in keeping women safe or finding predators, but their moderators should go harder in ensuring that it meets those goals rather than running a de facto gossip club where innocent people's personal lives are affected. I've had dozens of people reach out with very similar experiences, so perhaps your rules should reflect that rather than just keep boys out. The lunatic who wanted to sell me her cat, he seemed like a cool dude, but I just wasn't in the market for a pet. He also only had 3 legs, which made him run like a wasted sailor. That's so cute.
Aw.
All cats deserve love. I hope he got away from her. Some of you alarmingly struggle with concepts of consent. I consented to my photo appearing on a dating app. I did not consent to my photo appearing in a "is this guy trash" group. They are not the same, and the stigma and assumptions associated with both are vastly different. I really shouldn't have to explain this, but here we are. Regarding me not realizing how big this group was, 3 of the women in my life all found out about it the same way. On Valentine's Day, a radio show ran a segment on it, then got picked up by blogs and social media. It's even appeared on a local television. My friend saw it on Twitter. Another saw "this guy was dating 12 women" post that got shared and decided to investigate. My sister was texted by her friend about it, and when they all rushed to check the group chat, there I was. Great timing. It currently has over 50,000 members. Moving on. I decided not to pursue things with Danielle. She took the post down during our radio silence, but it mainly boiled down to just not seeing her in the same light anymore. I can accept that she genuinely is sorry, but I also know how I am, and it wouldn't be fair to either of us. This is supposed to be the honeymoon period. Everything is supposed to be light and cute. Now it's just suspicion and resentment. Not gonna lie, that period when we first started talking to when I went away on my trip was really great. I looked forward to talking to her. When I would see a text, I got butterflies. When we kissed, it felt electric. Some people said what she did was such an obvious red flag that they were questioning why I was even hesitating. The reason is that I haven't felt like this in some time. My last relationship lasted 5 years after we broke up. I legitimately wondered if I could find that spark again, especially after trying dating apps here and there and not having much luck finding the right person. I do want to feel that spark again and find my person, but holding on to something that already has these problems before it even starts is the wrong move. Instead, I'm simply happy I got the experience. Now I know it's out there and possible again, just not with Daniela. But I'll be honest, I woke up today thinking, hey, you never know, maybe a couple months down the line, I'll think different and maybe we'll go grab a drink. And then I saw she had texted me.
No. in the
Oh,
fourth
man.
quarter.
By the way, you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this. You shoot us a little text. Shoot us a little message. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update.
Oh,
There's another relevant update.
bam, bam, thank
We
you,
got
ma'am.
some juice still. But Dakota, break up or not? Break up or not? Or not break up.
Yes,
Let's stop
of
seeing her.
course.
Yeah.
Like, you stop, like, look, it's all based on the vibe I'm approached with.
Yeah.
If the vibe is just like, hey, I got to run a background check on you, make sure you're not like a serial cheater.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you said that in a funny voice. Okay, I'm okay with that. Literally.
Yeah.
But like, if you do that and then you like, it's like a freak out. Like, I lied to you, and I'm like, we went to Panda Express. It's okay.
Yeah.
This is whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think maybe I don't think I want to pursue this because it just seems like this is gonna happen the whole time. Maybe.
Yeah.
And
it's
I don't
only
want
gonna
that.
it's only gonna get worse. Like this is a big red flag. She needs to figure things out more. Right now, we are 100% for breakup. But let's see.
Yeah. Clifford the Big Red Flag.
To preface, before I left the city for work, she sent me a photo with a message. Don't forget about me. It was her in a bikini on a summer beach blowing a kiss. She's quite chesty, so it's not exactly safe for work, but there was no nudity.
This woman has a chest. It's unsafe.
I opened today's text, which reads, "Hey, hope I'm not disturbing you, but I'd like to ask you to delete that picture I sent and not share it with anyone." What the F? I replied, "The only copy of that picture is in our chat thread. Do you seriously have that low an opinion of me?" To which she apologized and said she was just making sure. Fine. At first I was annoyed, but then I realized the most important thing. It was a reminder that I had made the right decision. So I made another and deleted her number.
Huzzah! Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good decision.
Mhm.
That is a good decision. I think when someone shows you crazy, you run, especially early. Usually people don't show you crazy until you're, a little down the line. Someone shows you crazy early, you run.
Again, I don't even think that the cheating thing, the cheating background check is even that crazy. But it was more everything around it.
Yeah.
Everything surrounding it is what made it crazy.
It would definitely give me pause. It would definitely give me pause.
I'm suspicious of my girlfriend. I think she only wants my money.
Well, maybe you got a lot. Maybe you can give her a little.
My fiance and I have been together for a few years now, and everything has been going well. We have a lot of similar interests, hobbies, humor, and more. The things we don't agree on are usually solved with a discussion and compromise. I love my fiance, and I planned on spending the rest of my life with her. However, she said something earlier this week that made me really uncomfortable, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since.
There's always a however.
She was like, "What if it was bigger?" By the way, this comes from user snowboardman63, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, for a little context, I am graduating this May from grad school, and I've been interviewing at a bunch of different jobs across the country. We do not plan on staying in our current state. It was a super stressful process, and I've actually gained quite a few gray hairs during all of this. I landed an offer last week downtown in a city across the country that we've always wanted to move to, but the reviews from former employees about the place said to stay far away and that the company was extremely toxic.
Okay.
So I haven't responded yet to the offer.
Good.
Hey, you know what? You can get in there and change things from the inside, right?
You could, but what if you just joined something nice?
Yeah, or do that. I received another offer this week from a company in the suburb of that same city, and they had much better reviews, so I planned on taking this job. My initial reaction was one of excitement, as this job pays really well, has good benefits, and is located just outside of where we've always wanted to live. I got the offer right before my fiance and I were planning on grabbing food with a friend, so I told them the good news during lunch. I see you.
Oh, she's going to be like, why didn't you take the job with more money?
No, she's going to say, why don't you take the job with where we get to live in the city and live the cool life? Live the cool life in the cool city. Because he said this job pays great as well.
Oh, Oh.
So I think it's going to be more of
she
like
wants a lifestyle.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
I thought you were going to be my cool city husband.
Yeah.
We are going to move to the suburbs. What are we, old and dead? Like,
But I mean, I think that is fair for that to be a life like that. That's a lifestyle shift to go from the city to the suburbs, and maybe that
True.
isn't a life she wants. I think it could be more about lifestyle that you want to live rather than just money.
however, instead of being happy with me, she seemed upset when I told her, almost outright disappointed in me. She didn't really talk to me during lunch, and when she did speak, it was to make remarks about how the location of the job wasn't downtown like she wanted, but instead 25 minutes outside of it, and how she wasn't going to be happy living that far from the city center. She knew the downtown offer I had already, and we had discussed how the employees there had warned people to stay away due to the toxic environment, and we had agreed that I shouldn't accept that job. However, I was a little taken aback by her comments since I didn't think living 25 minutes outside the city center would be such a big deal to the point where she would get upset over a job offer.
Could they not live in the city center?
Yeah, and then like just commute to wherever
Yeah.
you'd be live. Like, yeah.
Right?
Is that not?
I feel like that's a solution, but I want to see where the story goes.
She told me that she wasn't about to move across the country with me unless she could live in a high-rise, downtown, have a high-end lifestyle, and also not work for the rest of the year.
All right. That is a red flag. There we go. There's the red flag. Yikes.
Good luck.
Yikes. Good luck doing that on your own, buddy.
I told her that I'm fine with her not working since I should make enough for both of us, but commuting close to an hour every day for work from a far more expensive place to live unnecessarily seems inconsiderate of her when there's plenty of great places to live near where I work. Not to mention that my salary split between two people is not going to be enough to live a high-end lifestyle. I also said that we can go downtown often and do whatever she wants, but spending $5,000 a month for a shoebox apartment and not even being close to my job seems like a nightmare to live in personally. And at this point, she and her friend
Oh my
ganged up
God.
on me.
They're having this conversation in front of her friend. Oh, yikes. 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 Okay. All right. Let's keep going. But this is bad.
I'm getting a message from the beyond.
Yep. What is it saying?
This
what is it saying to you?
relationship is already dead.
Wow. So wise.
Oh, wow. And made me feel bad for even considering an offer that was outside of the city center and not tailored exactly to her desires. I tried to explain that the whole world doesn't revolve around you. No, just kidding. That's not what OP said.
Yeah.
I tried to explain that the job market is awful right now, and being a new grad doesn't exactly give you very many options on where to work.
Wait, he's a new grad?
He's getting a job right out of grad school.
Oh, grad school.
Even landing a job at all in this economy, as a new grad, took me hundreds of applications and months of interviewing and a pretty substantial mental strain. I also said that once I gain a year or two of experience, I can definitely apply for a job closer to where she wants to live and not have to settle for a toxic company, but she seemed unwilling to wait that long. I don't think she was convinced at all by what I said, and it left me feeling defeated afterwards. I thought about that conversation the entire ride home, and now I'm genuinely terrified of moving with her. The way she spoke made it seem like she wasn't planning on moving across the country to be with me, but rather to live the lifestyle she had envisioned me providing for her. She hasn't explicitly said it yet, but has hinted that she would rather I take the toxic job downtown just so she can be closer to where she wants to be. Brother, I'm pretty sure she said that.
She literally said that.
Pretty explicitly.
She said, I want the high-end lifestyle in the high-rise.
Yeah. I've tried to have a few follow-up conversations about it, but they've been short, and it doesn't seem like she wants to discuss it in detail with me.
Pre-vorce. Who said it first?
Yeah, I think
Aguirre Reyes. Pre-divorce. Yep. 100%.
this is clearly not someone who's wanting to grow with you.
Yeah.
He wants to, like, be grown by you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, please give me your nutrients. Give me
Yeah.
all your water.
I like when you make me grow.
Anyway, she eventually told me it's fine to take the farther job, but her actions and behavior suggest she doesn't really feel that way. At this point, it almost feels like I have to choose between her happiness or mine with no chance of compromise. She's done this before for other things, but we've always been able to talk it out, except this time, she doesn't seem like she wants to. I'm unsure of how to approach this. I hope we can work this out, but I also don't want to risk moving in together and having her or I be miserable. Sorry, the yerba is making me burp.
Burba.
I really, really don't want to take the downtown job, as I've been a firm believer of researching companies ahead of time in order to avoid being trapped in toxic situations. It's like, yeah, I don't want to work for the most toxic company in town.
Is that crazy? Is that crazy?
Come on, brother.
Also, Amy Lynn says, tell Mike to make me grow. If we both order sandwich, is it a Mike's three-way?
It's Mike Jr.
Oh, Mike Jr.
Wait,
Mike sub.
no, we're
I want Mike to be my sub.
No.
Wear the gimp suit, Mike. All right, sorry, we're done. We're going. We're going. Context. There is a trend online where people go to Jersey Mike's and say, give it to me Mike's way.
Yeah.
Give it to me like this Mike's dirtiest way. Just put Mike's special sauce on it. Just cover my sandwich.
Yeah.
Just go in the back and just have your way with it.
Etc.
Yeah.
I honestly feel trapped already for being forced to consider either a job I'm probably going to hate or potentially losing my fiance. If anyone has been in a similar situation to me, how did you handle it? How did it turn out? What advice do you have for me in this situation? Thank you.
And there is an
update.
Oh my God. Thank God. But
What are we thinking over here, Sam?
I mean, red flag. Huge red flag. She wants you for the wrong reasons. She wants to be with you for the wrong reasons. You should not take a job that you hate. And your partner shouldn't push you to take a job you hate, right? Like,
of course, yeah. No.
For her to not work and just like mooch off of you. I mean, I don't like this.
There are sometimes I think where, and we did have a story like this where this was my take, where sometimes you might hate your job. Your job might drive you crazy, but like there are contexts as like a family or as partnership where it's like sometimes you just really need like
the money,
secure money.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, we're doing this for us.
But
if this was coming from a us place, this is coming from a me place.
It's like, I want the Birkin bag.
Right. What you can't give me the downtown high rise
No.
for
Why
me
am I
to
even
post
with
my
you?
Instagram selfies from so that everyone can see how good and cool I am.
Yeah, I do not like this at all. I think you should really question if this is the right relationship for you.
Man, I would marry OP if he came to me and was like, hey, I got a house for us in the suburbs. I'm like, put a
Please.
ring on it right
Put
now.
a ring right now. Let me do my Pilates.
Property owner.
I'll make my body perfect for you. You could have your way with it.
Literally,
you can have it, you can have your
take me
Mike's
to the
way with it.
laboratory, build me however you want, as long as
it's Mike's way. Okay, let's go. Let's do the update.
Update. Thank you all for the helpful comments. It was validating to hear that she was acting selfishly. How did we not know that?
He's blind. He's blind. He's got the rose-colored glasses on.
I really question how
Rose-tinted.
people get into these situations, like being engaged without knowing when someone's maybe being a little selfish.
Yeah, but let's keep going. I want to hear how this ends.
It gave me the initiative I needed to confront her about it again. For everyone suggesting I dump her, I can see where you're coming from. If this is how she acts all the time, I wouldn't want to be trapped in that type of relationship either. That being said, I should have mentioned that she stuck with me through my worst and brokest years of grad school while she worked full-time, rarely taking any time off of her very stressful job. That was important information I should have included, but I didn't. And that's on me, and I apologize for making the original post one-sided. I don't think she's a gold digger, but probably just someone who's tired of living in poverty and working all the time while the other person didn't bring in any income. I would be as well if the positions were flipped. Either way, I still needed to confront her about her behavior. A breakup would be an absolute last option, but I definitely prepared myself for the worst. Buddy, I don't think you're seeing the disparity between your two situations here.
I also, she worked, but was she providing for both of you while she worked?
Well, I think so. Yeah, maybe. Or there could have been, but you were going to grad school.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to be in the high-rise apartment and not work for the first year. It's like, dude, if you're in the suburbs and not working for the first year, you can take a 20-minute drive to the city.
You got nothing but time on your hands.
What are you talking about?
All right.
It's, you're not going to grad school while he's working. Like, I don't know.
I do think the context provides a little bit more I think the context provides like a little bit more empathy for his partner. I'm hoping that maybe this is just a slight lapse in judgment.
Hopefully.
But let's see.
She could have been plotting. I don't know.
Let's see.
I'd choose a day we both had off, made sure we ate, and gave her a heads up before dinner that I wanted to discuss the things that had been bothering me. I sat her down in our bed while I sat across from her to give her some space and make it less confrontational. I tried to make the environment as stress-free as possible to avoid the possibility of another pointless argument where things could escalate. As I brought up the topic after dinner, I was extremely anxious and had been preparing for the worst. However, she told me that she had actually been thinking about it and discussing it with her therapist, and that her therapist basically told her what you guys said in the comments.
Goated therapist. Let's freaking go.
Therapist
Let's freaking
said,
go.
"Sweetie pie, you're being selfish." And she went, "Oh, I need my baby talk therapist."
Yeah, I need my Jim Gaffigan therapist.
My baby talk. No, it's instead of talk therapy, it's baby talk therapy. It's just for people who need to be told things like they're a baby.
Yeah, because they're acting like a little baby.
You're being a little baby right now. Okay, it was a good reality check for her, and she sees where her demands were unreasonable and selfish. She's now open to find a job and also compromise on where to live after our discussion. Yay!
Growth.
We
love
did
to
it.
see it. We love to see it. This is good. This is good. All right. I really like seeing this.
I love seeing that your partner was not scheming on you the entirety of your relationship. It was refreshing to work with her as a team to find a solution instead of trying to fight her to see my side. As of now, we're planning to live near the suburbs, but not too far from the city. She's also going to start applying to jobs as well and hopefully have one by the time we move. We also went over a rough budget of what we will and won't be able to afford, and we're able to come to a consensus on the kinds of things we can and can't live without.
Great communication. We love to see it. We love to see it. This is good. This is good.
Okay.
Textbook, baby.
I think this is maybe starting to happen.
Now you're really doing Jim Gaffigan.
There's still like a chance that she just realized, oh, this might make him leave me. I should be happy that he's going to put me in a house in the suburbs. Maybe I can get him to make the house a little closer to home. I don't know. I would still be fundamentally a little like, it really felt like you just made me cash cow right there.
Yes, but I would like to believe that she was frustrated from all the years maybe she provided for him, wanted a break. She says, no, I need this. And it was a moment of selfishness in a greater context of giving.
I would need to hear that from her.
Yeah.
I would have to hear her say those words and be like, I get you, baby. That's why I love you.
I want to hold you in my arms.
I want to hold you in my house in the suburbs. That's not 25 minutes away from the city, but it's maybe like 18 to 15 minutes away from the city.
Depending on traffic.
It's a little more equitable for both of us. Yeah. Somebody give that guy a name.
Like.
Okay. I wanted a larger portions of our earnings to go into savings, and she was willing to let some of her initial demands go and promised she would do her own hair, lashes, and nails to save money. We cut out unnecessary luxuries that would eat up our budget, and I feel more secure in our finances after the discussion. By the way, after this discussion, you can go listen to full episodes with stories just like this on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. Just search OK Storytime, and you can listen to over 2,000 episodes. Crazy.
That's a lot.
We have a little bit left of this story.
Just speed right into it.
I think let's just get right to the end.
Yeah.
I feel better about our move now, and I think the discussion really did help us iron out things that would have built up resentment over time. She isn't a liar, so I feel good trusting her to hold up her end of the bargain. Thanks again for all of your supportive comments. I really appreciate the time everyone took to read my very long post and comment their thoughts. Maybe I'll do another update in a few months about how things are going. Take care, everyone. And that is the end.
Boom. Yeah. No, I mean, it feels like we had some great communication here.
Now,
I'm feeling good about where things ended.
I still would like to hear
directly from her
that, like, yeah, this is like, so where did I want to hear like a, hey, I feel like maybe what I said could have made you feel like sort of just like a fiscal tool or an object to me, or like just a thing that can provide me. And it's like, I just want to make it clear that that's not how I think about you. I need her to really go deep on that.
I think she needs to over
mental reasoning.
But I am happy with where things ended.
Sure.
My girlfriend lied about her ex, but I still ended up being the villain.
Well, it's because you have that twisty mustache.
Well, we met over Tinder in 2015, sometime when I was visiting nearby, where she lives about 4 hours from me. We became long-distance virtual pen pals pretty much for a couple of years, texting on and off for periods and Skyping. At the time, feelings developed, and we started dating in January of last year. So we've been friends for over 3 years and dating for almost a year and a half. Congrats. By the way, this comes from LMFK, duh. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So the day we started dating, she confessed to me that she had hung out with an ex who I knew about, but didn't tell me purposely because she didn't want to upset me.
Like day one, she's hanging out with her ex?
Red flag.
What are we doing?
I was upset she purposely hid something, but was happy she told me and told her I didn't care about that. Just don't lie about it. Shortly after, we were laying in bed, and her phone was going off a lot. I see you in the chat if you see what's going. So she grabbed it, and it was a bunch of messages from the ex.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Pizza Hut.
She put her phone down quickly and then told me some other friend was blowing her up and to give her a sec while she answers, and sat up so I couldn't see. I knew it was the ex and was like, what the F, but then gave her the benefit of the doubt that it was still fairly new, and she probably still thought I was going to be jealous even though I didn't care. Another red flag.
Brother, no.
Why? You're just driving through all of these.
On principle, you press that moment. You go, hey, so do you think I was literally born yesterday? You're like,
I literally can see your phone.
I just want you to think, do you really think you just like got me with that?
A couple months later, I had plans near her with a friend and asked her to join one of those nights. She agreed, and then the day of, she didn't talk to me all day until around 9 p.m. She was hanging with her ex for sure, and told me she was still with her friend.
Right.
She was with the night before and will probably just stay there another night because it got late. I was mad, but she said her phone passed away and she didn't want to take the train all the way to where I was. I was upset because we live kind of far, and so seeing each other was rare, and I didn't understand why she'd so casually ditch. Whatever, I didn't like it, moved on with my night with my friend. Shortly after, the big lie came out unrelated to the ex. When we first met all those years ago on Tinder when I was visiting and she came to meet me, she wasn't comfortable yet with being openly bi, so she told her friends she was meeting some dude named Michael.
No.
You're joking.
You're not serious right now, dude. You're kidding. Did you do that? Did you do that?
I didn't have time to do that, no.
She didn't realize how the nature of our friendship was going to play out. But as time passed, she kept referring to me as Michael. Even long after she was open and comfortable about her spicy preferences. She said the lie had gone on so long, she was afraid to admit it to her friends. When we started dating, she told them she was dating Michael, who lived 4 hours away. Obviously, this upset me, but I understood that sexuality was weird. I told her I understood why she did it, but I don't feel happy about it. She said she would begin telling people, and a few days later, she told her dad. Then months passed, and she didn't tell anyone. I started to worry something was going on. The lying about who I was combined with the lying about her ex made me think she was secretly seeing someone and wanted to keep me distant. I expressed this to her, and she said she would get the ball rolling, so she started to tell her friends and family. Things started to normalize.
Okay.
It was about 8 or 9 months into our relationship, and we started getting a lot closer, starting being more open with each other. It became a really great relationship. Then, this past February, I was visiting her. She had the previous year's calendar up, and I saw that the ex's name was written on it from February last year. I rolled my eyes and thought, okay, she clearly lied about that and didn't tell me. How many times has this happened? So I started flicking through the calendar and stumbled upon a weekend in April with the ex's name written across 2 nights. I got sick. She didn't tell me she stayed with her, let alone for multiple nights. I just kind of stared, wondering if I should confront her about it. And then it dawned on me. That's the weekend that she ditched me.
Can you imagine, like, having so many rocks in your brain that you put your infidelity down on the calendar?
I mean, you gotta keep track.
On the calendar. Cheating on my boyfriend with my ex weekend.
It's hard
girlfriend.
to keep multiple, to juggle multiple people. You gotta make sure it's a Google
Cheating
Cal
on my
has the
girlfriend with my
invite.
ex.
That's the weekend she said she was with these specific friends when really she was with her for 2 nights and ditched me to stay. I just kind of closed the calendar, stopped looking at it, and stared at the wall. That's rough. I felt overwhelmed and upset and hurt. She came in and saw me and asked what was going on, then pointed to the original day I saw and said, "Is it that? That upset you?" And I grabbed the calendar and opened it up to the 2 nights and said, "No, this upset me." And she stared and I said, "This was the weekend you ditched me." And she sat down and said, "I don't know what to say."
Yeah, because you can't lie your way out of that one.
I got up and went into the bathroom. She had to leave shortly after to pick up her car that had broken down with her dad. I stayed and packed my stuff because all the lies were just too much. So rough.
Yeah.
I called my best friend who told me if I was going to break up with her, I'd regret not doing it to her face. So I waited till she got back. I got stuck with her and her family all day, and she was moving into a new apartment and we had no time to talk. By the time the end of the day came, I was emotionally drained. We sat and talked about it all. She said she had lingering feelings almost 5 months into our relationship for her ex, and sought her attention in the beginning of her relationship and felt guilty and felt the need to lie about it, even though they were just friends. Yeah, right.
You still can't stop lying.
Yeah.
That's still a lie.
Dude, she's I think it's compulsive lying.
Oh, man.
I told her I couldn't be with her as long as that ex was still in her life. She lied too many times about it and about the other things, and that specific lie and having feelings crossed my boundary. She said the ex wasn't worth it and she'd not have contact with her. Don't buy it, OP. Don't buy it. There's too many lies. She's covering up lie after lie after lie with more lies. This was 4 months ago. No. Cut to this past weekend. I'm visiting at her apartment. So OP didn't break up with her. OP.
What are we like? You literally from the very beginning was like, I'm cool, just don't lie. Then she lied. And you're like, nah, I guess I'm still cool. And she's going to keep doing it now.
And now she knows she can get away with it.
Don't be cool.
Our relationship again has been more than great. We were sitting having a good time and she goes to text her dad. So she scrolled down on her phone and I see the name of her ex. The ex is in the phone. Okay. So I said, have you talked to her? And she said, I was meaning to tell you. She texted me congratulating my sister on getting married. And I said, thanks and stuff. I got really upset and said, I told you if you talked to her, I couldn't be with you. I set that boundary. So I left. I told her she was selfish and lies too much, that I'd never do that to her and could do better. All the sort of stuff someone says when they're mad, I said it. Eventually, after realizing there was no bus for me to go home, I agreed to come back and talk it out. We cried. She said she didn't mean to hurt me so many times. She's sorry. I said I was too sensitive and she needed to be more considerate of my feelings when she does things. OP, break up. Break up.
This is hurting me.
The next day I woke up and I still didn't feel good and we agreed to talk more. You don't need to talk more. So as we're talking, it came out that actually the ex didn't text her. She texted the ex. So again, she misled me to make things seem not so bad. I told her that she was doing was crappy and she said she didn't see it as a big deal. I told her that I had talked to my friends the day before when I left and they were all shocked and angry and agreed she keeps breaking my trust.
Dude, I need you, OP, to embody both the Kool-Aid Man and Usain Bolt because I need you to immediately sprint through the closest wall out and away from this woman.
Oh, yeah.
Ex, make her your ex.
She said her friends and family think I'm being controlling by telling her who she can or can't talk to. Get out of here. That is a lie. I explained it was situational. I didn't care about anyone else in her life, but that she misled and lied to me multiple times about this one ex, and I was no longer comfortable being in a relationship under those conditions. And she agreed the ex wasn't worth it and to have no contact. No! We've been going back and forth on this for days. She told me she thought it was stupid I'd asked her not to be friends with her and then admitted that though she went a period not talking to her and respecting my wishes, she then started talking to her again, hiding crap. She said she did it because I'm being controlling and she feels caged in. Oh
Dang.
My God, this is gaslighting. This is manipulation. Do
you know how to set her free now? You go, oh, you're caged in a relationship? I guess we'll break up. Bye.
Kate of Nome says all this girl seems to know how to do is trickle truth her partner. Yeah, agreed. And that it's stupid I'm telling her I'm uncomfortable when it happened so long ago, even though I just found out about it 4 months ago. I keep telling her I don't care who she talks to, but she completely effed this situation up, and I'm not doing it. I'm not staying if she's going to be in contact with her. No, just don't stay, period.
Yeah, it's just time to go.
She said she didn't have a strict idea of monogamy and that if I'd done what she did, she wouldn't be upset and would have just told me to work my crap out.
Cool, you're not me. I'm going to leave.
I'm really, really distraught. On one hand, this is literally one of the best relationships I've ever been in. We get along great. We enjoy being around each other. We love each other a lot. On the other, she consistently thinks it's okay to lie to me and to people and thinks I'm being controlling the one time I asked her to respect a boundary. I didn't say anything for multiple times she lied to me. I even set aside my feelings about being offended. She lied about my identity. And she can't just put herself in my position like I have her so many times. So what is it? Is she wrong? Am I wrong? Are we both wrong? I'm not looking for you should just break up. I'm fully aware this is dysfunctional, but you should. You should just break up. She keeps lying and she's not changing. If you want someone to change and they're not changing, then either you have to accept that they're not going to change and stop asking, or you leave to find someone better. This is not good.
Leave.
But I want to know who is in the wrong. Because if there's some semblance we can come to a reconciliation, I'd prefer that.
There's no
There's an update.
reconciling this.
There's an
She's
update.
lying to you through her teeth and won't stop. You're just trying to make yourself okay with this?
So, Dakota, one, who's in the wrong, and what should OP
Both
do?
of you are now in the wrong. OP's in the wrong because you literally said from the beginning, don't lie to me. All she's done the whole time has been lie to you, and you're just making that a non-issue for you for some reason. That's not right. You're wrong for that.
Yeah.
And she's wrong for lying to you constantly. But you're wrong for trying to make this work.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But we got an update. I spent all last week in a daze and really angry but sad. We got into multiple arguments about it over and over. She feels bad about lying, but still thinks it's controlling for me to ask her not to be friends with someone. I knew it was being emboldened by people in her life who probably don't have the full story. Kind of in the same way I was being emboldened by the people in my life. My friends and I have all had bad experiences in the past with being cheated on in really horrible ways. The second any of our partners do something fishy, we all get up in arms. I called my oldest sister for some neutral grounding. She's a therapist and knows me and has met my girlfriend, and I wanted to tell her how bad of a week I'd had. She kind of gave me a reality check. Come on. Give us something good.
Kind of, even still, kind of.
She said, based on everything, she thinks girlfriend is telling the truth. And while she shouldn't have lied, it was long enough ago that she probably has changed like girlfriend is claiming. She said that because girlfriend has never had a serious relationship, she probably didn't think that hiding something that would upset someone as anything out of the ordinary, but now she does.
What is that? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That therapist should not have any clients. Fire that therapist.
Was that her therapist or was that her sister?
That was her sister who is a therapist.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. That is the worst advice I have ever heard. That is the worst
hasn't
advice.
changed at all. She's been lying the whole time.
And it hasn't been that long.
Yeah, what? What?
She said what my girlfriend said. Girlfriend said I'm reacting like she's cheated when she hasn't, and that I'm reacting poorly to it because of things that have happened in the past.
Bro,
I'm associating her hiding this friendship from me to a relationship I was in before for 5 years and was cheated on and found out she was spicy texting and hiding things from me for the whole relationship.
Can we just really quickly point out that she was texting not just a person, it was an ex.
Yeah. And
had
hiding
repeatedly told OP, I'm done talking to this person, and lied about it over and over again.
I think my thought process is I actually don't care what someone lies about. If they're lying, it's not a relationship that I want to be in.
Right. It's like, why are you just straight up lying? And you're going to say, oh, well, she didn't know that you shouldn't lie to people about stuff. What is she, a 4-year-old?
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
She literally had a 2-day sleepover with her ex
Yes.
and didn't tell OP about it. We don't know
and says,
if she
I
cheated
didn't
or
cheat.
not, but come on.
Yeah,
Come
dude. Of course
I
you
wasn't
did.
born yesterday.
Did you play Scrabble for 48 hours?
I've never had a game last that long.
You Scrabbled her guts.
Hey, had Mike's way with that Scrabble board. She said we both needed to change some of our behaviors and that she likes girlfriend and thinks our relationship is good. And if I keep trying to control situations like this and being unforgiving, then I'm going to screw up what has been good relationship.
It has not been good. It has not been good.
So I spoke to girlfriend after some self-reflection. At first it didn't go so well because she assumed I was just about to start another fight like I had been all week. But once we got past that, we got into the deeper issues. I said she needed to stop lying to avoid situations she perceives as uncomfortable. I admitted I was treating her like she cheated, and my reaction was poor. I said I was sorry for up and leaving both times I got upset instead of staying and trying to work things out. She obviously apologized over and over for lying, which she had already done a lot since the fight. I told her that we both created a divide in the self-preservation. I got mad and wanted out and demonized her, and she lied to keep me separate from dumb things she did at the start of the relationship. By the way, if you want to avoid the dumb things in your life, you should make sure to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update, but oh my God, is this not the worst situation and advice that we have heard? This is the worst advice.
So there was a comment that maybe suggested that OP did not. OP gave the soft truth to protect their partner's sort of image or integrity in the situation.
Maybe, but it seems like, the sister knows that the girlfriend is lying.
This is a tale as old as time, dude. It's like someone lies to you. It was the scorpion and the frog.
Ugh, yeah.
The scorpion needs a ride across the river. It's like, I'm not going to sting you. Then it stings the frog, and it goes, that's what I do. You should know that. You should know even if I tell you I won't, I will, because it's what I do. She's not going to just, she said she's done lying now for the 17th time. This is the time. It's finally real. No. She's going to keep talking to this ex.
Kate of Gnome says, run OP, run far, far away. I think the same, but let's see how this story...
She tried to flip it around on you. She tried to say... Bro, she said my definition of monogamy is not as strict as yours.
Ridiculous.
That's insane.
Ridiculous.
Get out of that.
In the end, I didn't want to be controlling. That's not who I am as a person. The compromise we agreed to was that friendship needs to be put on hold for now until I can trust her after the lying. I can't make myself vulnerable like that. And I'm only going to trust her if she can prove she isn't going to lie to me in every difficult situation. And that's where we're at. I feel better now that we've reached a resolution. I know I might be told I'm an idiot, but I said in my last post too, I genuinely don't think she cheated. I'm willing to work on this to save the relationship because she's my best friend and I don't want to lose her right now. Not when I think things can get a lot better. And now that I'm working on not dragging around my paranoia, she's ideally going to work on not hiding things from me. There won't be things boiling under the surface waiting to spill over. Maybe it's stupid. Maybe it's not.
You can't call it paranoia. It's suspicion. Paranoia is if it was not real.
It was
real the whole time.
I guess I won't know until the relationship ends, either from a breakup or death. Ha. And that is where that story ends.
You say ha, but it sounds like that's the only thing that could happen that would separate y'all.
Bad Pool Girl says OP needs a real therapist. Yes. Yes, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. OP needs a real therapist. This sister should have her license taken away if she is a real therapist. Oh, Supernova asks, I missed. Is she really hot? She might be really hot. She might be really hot.
Well, look, I am betting because it's true. I feel like no therapist would say that about this situation. I think OP did not give the full story, and that's why she's like, oh, that's not that bad. OP was probably telling the story that would make the therapist's sister say it's not that bad, so OP could hear that from their therapist's sister and go, okay, this is salvageable. Because for some reason, OP refuses to see this as a finalized, it's over situation.
Yeah,
she won't let it go.
Let us know if you think differently in the comments. And if you think OP should do something different. But I think OP, please end this relationship. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
I think you're holding on to something that isn't really there. But with that, unfortunately, that is where this story and episode ends.
I need final thought that I'm crunching my head over is because now that she's like, I just want this to work and I can't lose her right now. And now she knows that. And she knows, I can lie about anything. And as long as I get sad and I say, I'm sorry, it's fine.
Yeah.
So she's going to keep doing it.
You're setting a terrible precedent. But unfortunately, that is where this story and episode ends. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.
Mike's Way.